Thanks for inviting us in on your Valentine's Day. You know, it has been 5 years now since the Delphi murders shocked the state of Indiana. Two young girls just out for a walk disappear, and then they're found murdered the very next day. This is a case that has gripped our country, with speculation still swirling about who's responsible. Tonight, Felicia joins us to dig into CNN's new jailhouse interview with Klein. He's the man who is admitted to running a fake social media profile that investigators later tied to that Delphi case. But first tonight, our Emily Longnecker kicks off our big story with where this investigation and the girls' family stand 5 years later.
Five years. That's 1,825 days that have passed since the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found in the woods near Delphi.
They probably had you.
That's 43,800 hours. The people who loved them have had to wonder who the man is in this video. The man investigators say killed the girls and where he's at now.
I don't think anybody thought we'd be here at the spot at the 5-year mark with an unsolved case.
But that's where they are, despite thousands of tips, along with video and audio of the killer. Libby captured on her cell phone as the girls hiked on the Monon High Bridge Trail. Not to mention 2 different sketches released 2 years apart.
I think eventually what we'll be able to do is put the face of the murderer up in between those 2 sketches, and we'll be able to merge them together and become one.
Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter says he personally gets 25 to 30 tips a week that he forwards to investigators. Carter can't give a definitive timeline as to when the girls' families or the public will have answers or the justice they want.
What's important to me on the 5-year anniversary is that people know that we're continuing to full speed ahead.
It's frustrating. We all thought we would have answers 5 years ago, but we also know that law enforcement is doing absolutely everything they can and putting all of their time and effort into the case, and they want answers just as much as we do.
Both families have a mantra they've said since the beginning.
And today's the day.
5 years later, those words don't always come out as easily as they used to.
I mean, some days it's really hard, but yeah, we still keep positive that today could be the day and tomorrow could be the day and any day. We just have to keep being hopeful on that and have faith that it will be one day.
I know my grandparents say it every day, but for me, it's something that I say to reassure myself when I'm feeling frustrated, when I'm feeling like no answers are coming, and I'm feeling defeated. I say that. I say today is the day, it's coming, it'll get here.
The question remains, when?
The latest update in this investigation came a couple of months ago when investigators asked the public for tips about the fake Anthony Shots profile. We
gleaned a tremendous amount of very positive information, and we're continuing to run those tips down.
Police identified the man behind that online account as Klein, but now, months later, they haven't named him as a suspect or a person of interest in the Delphi murders. Now, we do know police searched his home 11 days after the 2 girls were found dead, and he was later charged with 30 felony counts, including child pornography possession and child exploitation. All of those charges unrelated to the Delphi case.
Well, Scott, tonight Klein is still in the Miami County Jail on those unrelated charges. And now he's talking on camera for the first time, acknowledging the Delphi investigation in a jailhouse interview with CNN.
Why do you think investigators are putting so much focus on you right now?
I have not a clue. I think it's because they said I was the last person to talk to her, is what they've told me.
And then
Klein says investigators haven't threatened any charges against him for Abby and Libby's murders. And while he's admitted to cheating, or rather creating the Anthony Shots profile to get inappropriate pictures, he says that's where the crime ends.
Were you ever trying to meet these girls in real life that you were talking to?
No, never.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Not at all, and I gave up my DNA, a hair follicle test. I've done everything they wanted me to.
We reached out to state police tonight to ask if they've collected DNA samples from Klein and if Klein's Anthony Shots profile was the last to talk to Libby before the murders. They say they can't confirm either statement. As we wrap up tonight's big story, remember the tip email address for the Delphi murders. It's still active. Even years later, any piece of information you can share could be the key to cracking this case. We also have this address posted on WTHR.com.